Hey guys, I'm Edd Kimber, the boy who bakes, and I've paired it with Weight Watchers to bring you some delicious, healthy recipes to fit with the Weight Watchers Flex program. Today's recipe is a delicious dessert. It's a light and fluffy chocolate mousse with orange baked rhubarb. And the best thing, it's only 8 smart points. Chocolate mousse is normally a little bit on the heavy side. It often uses a lot of butter or a lot of cream, which makes it kind of much richer, but obviously not as good for you. So what I've done to lighten this dish up is I've taken that out and stripped it back to its bare basics. So it's literally just chocolate, a little bit of orange juice, and then eggs, and a tiny, tiny bit of sugar. It's still a delicious, indulgent dessert, but just lighter than the classic. So what we're going to do to start with is take some dark chocolate and just give that a nice rough chop. Then we're going to add that to a bowl and set that over a pan of simmering water. We don't want to get any water in the bowl, so make sure that there's no water touching the bowl when it sits in the pan, and it's just at a very gentle simmer. So set that onto the water and just leave that alone, stirring occasionally if you need to. So when that chocolate is fully melted, we can take the bowl off the heat and just dry off any excess moisture from the bottom of the bowl and just set that aside for the moment whilst we work on our eggs. So this mousse is made with 3 large eggs, and all we need to do is separate those out. So first of all, I'm just going to take 1 egg at a time. We're going to add our whites to one bowl and our yolks to the other. Trying really hard to make sure that the yolk doesn't break so we don't get any yolk in the whites, otherwise you'll find it really hard to whisk up. So a really useful thing to think about when you're making mousse is that actually older eggs will whisk up better because they're slightly looser. The protein in the egg whites relaxes, so you get more air and you get more lightness in that mousse as well. Also, for the exact same reason, it's quite important to make sure your eggs are nice and room temperature, otherwise they just struggle to whip up a little bit. We're now going to add a little bit of flavouring to our egg yolks. We're going to add a little bit of orange juice, and this does 2 things. It adds that kind of really beautiful orange flavour to the mousse, but it also loosens the egg yolk so that when we add the chocolate, it will all fold together a lot easier. So just cut the orange in half. And you don't necessarily need to measure this, but it's about 2 tablespoons of orange juice. Just pushing it through your hand in case any seeds come out or any bits of flesh. All we need to do now is just give that a quick mix together with our spatula, and again we can then just set that aside whilst we work on the meringue. Now you can of course use an electric mixer if you want, but this is only 3 egg whites, so it's not going to take that long and it's not that much effort to whisk this up. So all we're going to do is start whisking just with a normal balloon whisk, and when it starts to become nice and foamy and it starts to kind of look almost like bubble bath, we can then slowly add our sugar, and we're just adding 2 tablespoons of sugar to this mixture. So we're starting to get there. It's much lighter, fluffier. So as we're starting to get nice and fluffy, we can add the first tablespoon of sugar and just sprinkle that over the egg white, and then just keep whisking that through. So you can see we haven't got any peaks yet. It's still falling straight off the whisk, so keep going. So we can add our 2nd tablespoon of sugar, and then we're going to whisk this until it kind of holds medium peak. So we don't want anything that's too firm, because you'll find that it separates as you fold it into the mousse and you won't get that really beautiful texture. So just until it's holding kind of like a soft medium peak. So you see we've got a nice kind of soft peak. It's not holding its shape fully, but it's nice and firm. But it's also, if you look at the actual texture, it's nice and fluid, and that means it will fold together much, much easier. So to combine our mousse, what we're going to do is take our egg yolk mixture and our chocolate, mix that together. So just scrape all of that delicious chocolate into the bowl and then just mix that together quite quickly. At this stage you do want to work fairly quickly because the egg whites will start to seize and start to set, so you want to do it all in one motion. So once that's mixed through, we can then start to add our egg whites in about 3 amounts. And the first one, we don't really care about keeping the actual air in too much because this is going to lighten that chocolate. So just take about 1/3 and just mix that together just until it's starting to come together. We don't need this to be completely streak free because we are going to fold it more and more, but just get it going, and then we can add in a 2nd third. And this is where you want to be really nice and gentle, just folding through, trying to keep all of that air that you've whisked in so we get a really beautiful light chocolate mousse. And then again, our final 1/3. Get every last bit of the egg white this time, and then just gently fold that through as before. And once there's no streaks of whites, we can then divide that into our glasses. This serves 4, So I'm just using 4 kind of short tumblers for a nice, simple, quick dessert. So I find it's easiest to use a small ladle to divide the mousse and just gently pour that in. You want to be fairly careful with the mousse at this point, not heavy-handed because it's full of air and you can still knock it out even as you do this. Whilst the mousse is really, really delicious at this stage, really to get the best from it, we need to put this in the fridge for about 4 hours for it to set, so you get that really classic chocolate mousse texture. So those chill for about 4 hours, but in the meantime I'm going to show you how to make the rhubarb. So all we're going to do is take 2 stalks of rhubarb. Now it's February, so we still have forced rhubarb, so I actually do prefer the thinner stalks because they're slightly sweeter, less sour, and the flavour is better in my mind. So all we're going to do is trim the ends off both pieces and then just cut them into small, about 5 centimetre long pieces, and then they're going to go into a small roasting dish. And then for our flavouring, we're only going to add a tablespoon of honey. Just drizzle that over the rhubarb. And then it's about a tablespoon of orange juice. And because rhubarb and chocolate both go really, really well with ginger, I'm just going to take some fresh ginger. I'm just going to cut 2 slices and then cut those into pieces, not too small because we don't want to serve this ginger, we just want it to infuse into the syrup that we're making. That's then going to go into the oven at 180 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now because it takes 4 hours for those mousses to set, I've already made some that I'm going to grab from the fridge so I can show you exactly now what they look like. So once they set, they get that really beautiful mousse-like texture that's just delicious. So what we're going to do is grab a few pieces of the rhubarb, put it onto the mousse like that. And then if you want, you can grab some of the syrup that's in the rhubarb as well, just because it adds a little bit more flavour as well. And especially because that's where the ginger is going to come from. So just spoon a little bit of that over the mousse as well. It's so delicious, so chocolatey, but so light and fluffy. It's just a really delicious dessert, and it's only 8 smart points because it's packed with 0 points foods such as eggs and rhubarb. So if you want to make this delicious dessert, the full recipe is below. And don't forget, this is just one of a series, so make sure to come back next week for the next recipe. I'm off to finish this mousse.